How you doing, everybody? So it's Friday today, and my title of my video is Back Snap Wednesday. So Wednesday, I was out in my shop working on ripping something apart, and I screwed up. I didn't put some release agent between these things I was building, and I couldn't get them apart. So this didn't even happen because of working out. It was something at work. That's my cuckoo clock. So anyways, I get done doing this. I got a customer here waiting for some things for this particular project, and I come up here and I felt like a pop and kind of a crack, and I went, oh no, here we go again, because this typically happens to me almost like clockwork on a yearly basis. So the last 15 years this has been happening to me. I've been going to a lot of chiropractors, a lot of specialists when this actually happens, and they've got me kind of on a they taught me different rehab techniques to strengthen that area. And so you strengthen the area, it goes away, everything's good, but typically it takes me about 3 weeks to a month to get completely back to where I was. The fortunate thing here is, and my point of my video is I've actually been doing this back rehab, the lower back rehab, for the last 6 months, even though my back hasn't been hurting at all. And it's only been about 42, 43 hours since this actually happened, and I got my back support on, and I put my ice back here, and I do that probably about 5-6 times a day for about 15 minutes. I do my stretching and stuff like that. This is what I've always done. But what I've never always done was done the rehab for this long period of time. Because I thought, once the pain goes away, rehab's done, I'm in good shape. Well, this time's completely different, because I think this 3 weeks to a month thing might only be about 5 days. So if you got an ailing body part, or a joint, or a muscle, or a low back, or a knee, or different things that you should be doing rehab on, once that rehab is finished, or you think is finished, keep on doing the rehab. You may have to do that for the rest of your life, but wouldn't it be so much better to, if this thing happens again to you, that the duration of this pain and this suffering that you got to go through is maybe only a quarter of the time or a half of the time? So that's what I was doing, like I said, this last 6 months, and I really believe that within the next 3 days, I'm going to be right back on track. I'm actually going to work out tonight. I believe I can do some different things to kind of work around this. The very first time this actually happened to me, it was about 14, 15 years ago. I was in the shower. I just kind of twisted kind of funny, and bam, I was down to my knees. I walked around like an old man for about 30 days, kind of hunched over, because if I tried to go upright, I went down to my knees. I was down. And a lot of people, the doctors and the different people I saw, they actually never did an MRI or any type of scans on me. They said, oh, you got a pinched nerve, or it's your sciatic nerve or something like that. But I didn't care. I was in excruciating pain. So I ended up finally going to a Korean lady, and she did acupressure on me. By the time I drove home, which was 40 miles, that pain that I had, I was upright. I wasn't hunched over like an old man. Unfortunately, she doesn't live here anymore, so I can't use here. So I got to go back on just my knowledge of my experience with my body, and I've been putting this rehab in, even though my back hasn't been hurting. I know I've said this many times in this video, but I'm trying to stress to this: do the rehab on the body parts that can give you grief later on. There's thousands of different videos out there on YouTube to look at rehab on a muscle, or on a joint, or a low back, or a neck, or something like that, and just look them over and start doing the rehab, even though you don't have the pains right now. So that's about it, everybody. Y'all have a great weekend. Be safe, and thanks for watching. And until next time, we'll see you later.